All right. Finish up what we started yesterday. I want to talk about the actual box and whisker plot now. Okay? I want to talk about this right here and what it means. Okay? First of all, as we look at each one of these sections, okay, each one of the sections in blue represent 1/4 of the numbers. Okay, each section, the whisker, the lower quartile, the upper quartile, and the other whisker represent about 1/4 of the numbers. Okay, so in this example, then, about what fraction of the scores were less than 88? Okay, about what fraction of the scores were less than 88? Just what do you think? No, what fraction of the scores, if each one of those sections represents 1/4, how many of the sections are less than 88? Tristan? 3/4. Because there is 1, 2, 3 sections that are less than 88. Each one of those sections is 1/4 of the numbers. So if I take 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4, that is equal to 3/4 of the scores are less than 88. Gabby?
How did you know to choose 88?
Huh?
How did you know to choose 88?
It's just a question. I could have easily have said, what fraction of the scores are less than 68? Okay, I just used it as an example. So what fraction of the scores are less than 68? Brandon? Half, yeah. Half of the scores are less than 68 because this represents 1/2 of the scores and this represents 1/2 of the scores. Okay? Now, I want to talk to you about the actual box. Let's say we have this box, this whisker, that point, okay. When the space of the section is small, that means there is a heavy concentration of scores there. Okay? So this means high concentration of scores. Okay? This means spread out scores. Okay? It means that in this section here, you might have a 10, 10, 10, 11, 11, 11, 11, 12, 12. Okay, that might be some of the numbers that might be there. An example of some numbers that might be there. In other words, they're all within 2 of each other. 10, 11, and 12. Okay, and there's a bunch of them. And so that's why the space is narrow. Okay, this one here where it's spread out, it might look like this. An example numbers might be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it might look something like that. Okay, so having said that then, would this whisker here be a high concentration or a spread out concentration of numbers? High concentration, because it's a small one. It's a small whisker. So this would be high concentration. Okay, this would be spread out data. Okay, be a larger spread of data. Means the range of data is bigger. Okay, that's another way to put it. A small segment means a small range of data. A large segment means a large range of data. Okay, but it still remains the same. Even if you have a box that looks like this. Let's say we have one that looks like this. Let's do one very similar to that box right there. Okay? Even though the box looks like that, this is still 1/4 of the data, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. Okay? It is still that way. Okay? Now, I'm just going to make up a set of numbers, okay? Just going to make it up so we can do it real quickly, find the box and whisker plot. Okay, so write these down. Let's see here. We're going to say 2, 5, 7, 9, 13, 17, 23, 25, 29, 31, 33, and we're going to stop there. Okay? So there's our data. So the first thing that we want is the median. Okay? Well, how many numbers do I have there? 11. So there's 11 numbers. So I take 11 and divide it by 2, and you get what? What? 5.5. Can I have a 5.5 number? In other words, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 numbers. Is there a 5.5 number there? No. So I have to round it up to the, what's after 5.5? 6. So it is the 6th number will be your median. So there is the 6th number. So the median then is equal to 17. Trinity? I'm just cutting them in half. In other words, the median represents the number that's halfway in between all the numbers, or the middle number. So to get any kind of half or middle or anything like that, you just divide it by 2 every time. Jesse?
So, it's on another problem with 4.5, you just round it up to 5?
Correct. Yes. So if we had 9 numbers, if we had 9 scores, that'd be 4.5. It'd be the 5th number. If we had 17 numbers, that would be 8.5, so it'd be the 9th number. And you can get it just like we've talked about in the past where you just do this. Okay? And you can do it that way. That's fine when there's a small amount of numbers, but if you've got 25 numbers, then that's going to take you a little bit to do that. Okay? Remember, the other thing is they have to be in order from least to greatest. That's our first thing. I just put them there from the very beginning that way. Yes, Gabby?
Remember the first one you did, why did you put 5 in? Is it
Because there was an even number of numbers. So, for example, if I added another number to this, let's say there was a 35 right here, then it would have 12 numbers. 12 divided by 2 is 6, so it would be the 6th and 7th number. If we had 14 numbers, 14 divided by 2 is 7, so it would be 7th and 8th number. And then you've got to find the one in between those two, okay?
So if it's just a single number, you have to use, if it's just like a single number with no half, you have to use 2 numbers?
Yes, yeah, that is correct. And what you'll find is like, if I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you start canceling those out, here's what's going to happen. Let me do it in yellow. Cancel there, cancel there. Now I can't, if I do this and this, then you can't do that. So that's why it would be that those two numbers, find the one halfway in between. Okay? All right, now, so the next thing is the lower quartile. Okay? Well, we've already got our median right here. So the lower quartile would be here. This is the lower quartile. I have to find the median. Well, there's 5 numbers there. So the middle number would be what? 7. Because there's 2 on this side and there's 2 on that side. So the lower quartile is equal to 7. The upper quartile is right here. That's the upper. And the median there is 29. So the lower extreme is equal to 2. The upper extreme is equal to 33. It's just the smallest and largest numbers. The lower extreme is the smallest number, and the upper extreme is the largest number. Upper and lower quartiles are the medians for the top half and bottom half of numbers. Jeswa?
That was my question.
Okay. Yeah, the upper and lower quartiles each have a median, and that's what your lower quartile is and your upper quartile is. Isaiah? Huh? Because it's the middle number. Because in this half of numbers, right here, I have 5 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, for me to get the same, for it to be the middle, I have to have the same amount on the left side and the same amount on the right side. The only way I can do that is that right there. Because I have 2 numbers over here, and I have 2 numbers over here. If I pick this one, let's say I'm going to write this data down here again so we can get it. If I pick the 5, how many numbers do I have to the left of 5? 1. How many to the right of 5? 3. That's not in the middle. Okay? If I picked 9, well, how many do I have to the right of 9? 1. How many do I have to the left of 9? 3. So that can't be it. So the only one that's going to give me an even number, this side and this side, is the 7. It's the middle number. Okay, just what?
If there's 6 numbers, are we going to have to do like a half, like
Yes, if you had, for example, let's say it was 2, 5, 7, 9, 13, and then you had 14. Okay, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. So 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3, so it's the third and fourth number. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would be that number halfway between 7 and 9. 8. Would I add a number? I just added a number so there would be an even number there. That's not the original set of data. That's just, if we had an even number of numbers on this half, that's how you would have to find it. Gabby?
You know the example that you showed me where it was like 5 and 6 in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
If it is in the middle like that, what would be the middle number?
5.5. Yeah, so if it was 5 and 6, it's 5.5. If it's, here's one you might run into. What happens if it was 9 and 9? 9. It would be 9. Okay, because there's not a number halfway between 9 and 9. It's just 9. Okay? If it was, let's say, the numbers were real spread out and it was 50 and 100, you'd be 75 would be your middle number. Okay? So it's just a matter of finding, if I got two numbers, add the two numbers up, divide it by 2, and that will give you the number that's your median, or your lower quartile or upper quartile.
And if it is 5.5, would you change it to 6 or?
Nope. When you find out that the middle number is a half, then it's going to be 5.5. You could actually have this. Let's say I had this. Let's say I had, I'll just make these up, 4.2, 6.0, 6.25, 5.6. Or excuse me, I can't use that one. That's smaller. We'll say 7.6. Let's say I had those four numbers. Well, the middle number is in between those two. So now you got 6 plus 6.25 divided by 2. So that's 12.25 divided by 2, which is going to end up giving you 6.125 would have to be your median. That's what's halfway in between those two. Okay? I don't think there's any like that, but there could be. I don't remember all of them. Trinity?
What if there was like two numbers in the middle and then it was like 10 and 13?
10 and 13? Where it's not an even, where it's not, then it would be 10 and 13 be 11 and a half. Because you would, if you had 10 and 13 as your two numbers, you had some numbers over here, some numbers over here, and you're trying to find the median. Okay? Then you would take 10 plus 13 and divide it by 2. 10 plus 13 is 23 divided by 2. So that's 11 and a half. Okay? Now, so that's how we figure the median. Now, here's what you need to understand. Back up here to that last example. Each one of these answers is going to be an X in your homework. Okay? So don't go into your homework tonight and go, well, I just won't do that. It takes too much time, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Well, it's going to be 5 problems here, and then when you draw the box and whisker plot, okay, that's going to be 3 X's as well. Okay? So a total of 8 X's for each problem. Okay, so you can't not do a problem. There's not going to be a lot of them, okay, but you cannot just, I'm not going to do that. Okay? I think there's, if I remember right, there's 2 box and whisker plots total that you're going to have to draw. Okay, and we're still going to have about 20 minutes to work on it, 25 minutes to work on it here in class. Okay, so your homework is this, which, as I stated, you have approximately 25 minutes left in class to do it. All right, you have 3.4, 1 through 7, and 9 through 13. Okay? There are 3 box and whisker plots, one of which we have already done. So you'll just have to copy the information down, and I think it's number 5 that I already did. Okay? The other ones are right, the other ones are one-word answers or two-word answers. Okay? There's only, like I said, 3 box and whisker plots. One of them we've already done in the notes. So just copy it from your notes to your homework. Okay? But when you copy it, you must have all of this information. All of this is the answer for number 5, number 9, and number 10. You must have all of this information. All of this information for number 5, 9, and 10. Okay, and number 5, this right here is number 5. All this is number 5. Okay, so you got to have this and this for number 5. Now, you do not have to have, the yellow and the purple and the blue and all that I put on there. Okay, that's just explaining to you what the process is. Trinity?
What would be the box and whiskers?
Do what?
For the one that we just did.
For the box and whisker, I didn't actually draw it. I just sort of gave you an example of what it looked like.
How do you put the numbers on that?
On that one, you would just draw a number line that starts at, you would have number line like this, and you'd start with 6. You could probably go up one at a time. And then you put the points on there. The points are, I think, 17, if I remember right. 17 goes right there. Next point was 2, 7, and 29. The other point was 2, so I'm going to have to squeeze it in here. So 2 and 33 were the other points. Connect these points with the box. Connect those points with the whisker. And that's what it would look like. And that would be 33. Do what? The little section. Little section on number 5? What little section? Yeah, down here you would have this right here. This is 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4. The halfway section's right there where the median is. I don't know if that's your question. Brandon? It's your 3rd mark, but yeah. No, you went yesterday, today, and you talked. That's 3. You went and talked on Monday, bathroom on Tuesday or Wednesday, and bathroom today. So you can go, but it's your 3rd mark. Treston? What's it say in the directions?
Follow the statement in the box and Whisker Plot, share box.
Okay. Does it say to correct it? Then you don't have to correct it.